as discussed in the previous class, the earth was in the beginning, it was formed like a ball, like swirling dust and clouds. Earth began as a ball of swirling dust and clouds in the beginning. So in that dust, we can observe different metals. Even sometimes those blasts were also there in the ball and around the atmosphere. So these ball attracted other materials from the universe. Like that, slowly the ball was grown big. Okay. Later, this dust particles and clouds, because of atmospheric conditions, that was burned. The dust was burned and converted as a liquid hot form. Liquid hot form. How the water boiling like that. So slowly, at the time of boiling the liquid in the ball, so what happened? So some particles, hard particles and weight, which are having a more weight, those are enter into the inside the liquid, and some particles floated on the surface of the earth. Some particles floated on the surface of the earth. How the particles form at the time of water boiling, at the time of milk boiling. Okay, like that, some lighter particles floated on the surface of the water or liquid. Slowly the particles formed as a layer on the boiled liquid metal. Clear? Slowly what happened? After so many millions of years, the surface of the earth become cool, and one layer formed on the surface of the earth. Clear? So like that earth was formed where we are living. The layer, outer layer was formed where we are living. This is more important. So if you see internal part of the earth, we can observe different layers in this. So our geophysical physicists studied about the interior part of the earth, and they explained about the internal parts of the earth. So the radius of the earth is vast. So the distance from the crust to the center of the earth is over 6,000 kilometers. Depth of the thickness of the layers, all the layers including crust, total from crust to distance to the center of the earth is over 6,000 kilometers. But at the time of mining, we reached very few kilometers. Even to extract the gases and petrol, we dug so many mines. So we reached very little, a few kilometers only, hardly. Okay, but how we know about the internal part of the earth? So our scientists and geophysicists observed some substances which came from the earth at the time of volcanoes. So by observing those, they came to some idea. Clear? So the earth is made up of mainly 3 layers. One is crust, second one is mantle, third one is core. So it has 3 layers: crust, mantle, core. So shall we discuss the first part, crust? So which is called crust? The surface of the earth. So where we are living. So the upper layer of the earth is called crust. Okay, this is very thin layer. This is a very thin layer. So the depth of this layer or thickness of this layer is 30 kilometers to 100 kilometers only. Already we have discussed the depth of the earth is from the crust to center of the earth 6,000 kilometers. Out of 6,000 kilometers, the thickness of the surface of the earth or crust is only 30 to 100 kilometers. Means what is 30? Where are remaining 1 to 2? 30. Means 1 to 100. Somewhere the thickness of the crust is only 30 kilometers depth. Somewhere it is 100 kilometers depth. It is vary from some place to area. Example, in Australia, the thickness is maybe 50 or 60 kilometers. In North America or South America, that is something in the ocean area. Mostly at the oceans, where the oceans are there the thickness of the crust may be less. That's why it varies between 30 to 100 kilometers. So these layer consist of various kinds of rocks. So when you observe this layer, so already you know that on the surface of the earth, so we can observe the soft soil. That's why we are using that soil for irrigation and some other purposes. Okay, when you dig soil, so when you enter into a little bit depth into the soil, okay, then the soil we can find the hard soil inside the surface. Later if you dig more, so you can find rocks like that. It is the consist of various kinds of rocks. Clear? This is the information of crust. First of all, you have to understand on which layer we are living, that is called crust. So the thickness of the crust is only 30 to 100 kilometers. The thickness will be vary in one place to another place. Okay, so it is consists of different rocks. So another metal inside metal or layer is called mantle. So the thickness of the mantle is 100 to 2,900 kilometers. 100 to 2,900 kilometers thickness. So the upper part of the earth means crust. Crust is floating on the mantle. Or if you see the upper part of the mantle is flexible. It is in a liquid form at present also. Once upon a time, total earth was in a liquid form. Later, the outer layer became hard and formed the crust. That's why we are living on the crust. But inner part of the earth at present also in a liquid form, that is called mantle. So the upper part of the mantle, the layer, so it is little bit more liquid. So on the mantle, on the liquid mantle, our crust is floating. Our crust is floating. Okay, we'll discuss later how it is floating at present also. Now also the outer layer is floating on the mantle. It is a continuous process. Our earth is always in a active mode. Active mode, already you know that earth having two motions. Okay, one is rotation, revolution, like that. Not only that, the layers of the earth also move always. So on mantle, the crust is floating. Okay, and it is also consists of different chemicals called silicates. So the upper layer is consists of different rocks. The inner part, mantle, is consists of different chemicals called silicates. Okay, we have discussed two layers. One is crust, second one is the mantle. Mantle is always in a liquid form. Okay, on the mantle the crust is floating. Next, another one is core, the third layer, inside layer, that is the core. The thickness of the core is 2900 to 5100 kilometers. Okay, so it is also divided into 2900 to 6376 kilometers thickness, and this inner core consists of different substances like iron and nickel. Iron and nickel. It is also in a liquid form. So how we use iron, how you prepare iron objects? First of all, we collect the iron ore from the minings. Later, the iron ore will be processed. The later iron ore convert into a liquid iron, and by using the molds, we prepare the iron objects, either rods or any pipes like that. So we are processing after collecting the iron ore. But in core, iron we can find in a liquid form directly. Okay, always it is boiling. So in a core we can find iron and nickel. This also, the inner part, core, also divided into two parts, outer core and inner core. Okay, outer core, the thickness of the outer core is 2900 to 5100 kilometers, and it is in liquid metallic material like nickel and iron. And another inner core, this one is a little bit solid than outer core, than mantle. It is little bit solid, like a curd, Okay, so the thickness of this inner core is 5100 kilometers to 6376 kilometers. Okay, so these are also consist of heavy substances like iron and gold. The inner core consists of liquid gold. Okay, so very valuable substance is there, inner core. So like that, different layers are there inside the earth. Okay, so it is also continuous process. It is also continuous process. Sometimes the crust will be formed. Sometimes crust also subduct into the mantle, and it will be converted as a liquid. Later, some mantle come out, and that will formed as a crust. So this is the continuous process. Okay, so because of earthquakes, because of volcanics, because of subduction of land, rise of mountains, okay, like this, because of changes in the inside of the earth, the outer part of the earth may be changed every time. Okay, once upon a time, at the place of Himalayas, there was a ocean is there. In the place of Himalayas, once upon a time, there was a ocean. Now, ocean was dried up, their Himalayas were raised. So like that, these are not permanent. The shapes of the outer core of the earth may be change continuously. Clear? So we can discuss all these with this. Observe the picture here. Just a minute. Okay, so all layers given here. So this is first one, blue color and different colors. This is a crust. Okay, second layer, this one is mantle in a liquid form. Okay, on this mantle, this crust is floating.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Voice is breaking.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Yeah. At present, how it is? Is it audible now?
No, sir, not continuously. In middle, it is breaking, sir.
Okay, okay.
Sir, breaking, sir.
Maybe because of
Yes, sir. Now it is breaking, sir.
okay.
Breaking, sir.
Just wait, just wait. It will become clear. Okay. Next it is mantle and outer core and inner core. Clear?
Sir,
And again,
it is breaking.
take the another picture. Here you can observe the another picture. Inner core, white colored, and yellow colored is the outer core, mantle. So you can observe here the crust is very thin layer, very thin layer. So you can compare these layers like with a egg. Already you know an egg. Okay, you are also more like that. So how the shell of the egg, if you observe, the shell of the egg is very thin. Okay, crust also like that. And we can observe inside the egg, we can see that liquid egg white, liquid egg white. On the egg white, the shell is floating. So inside the liquid egg white, you can found yolk, white substance. So that will be little bit solid. So how egg formed like that, the earth also
Sir,
formed.
your voice is coming low, sir.
No voice. While my voice is clear here. Okay. How is
No,
now?
sir.
Ma, how is now? Is it audible?
Sir, it is sucking in the middle, sir.
Ma, in the middle. After sharing the.
Sir,
Yes, sir,
before
in the
sharing,
middle,
it's
it
not
is
stucking,
breaking.
sir. After sharing, stucking, sir.
After sharing, my voice is
In
stucking.
middle, it is breaking.
Okay, okay. I will stop the sharing, then I will observe. Now, how is it? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So I will stop the sharing. Okay, so we can compare Earth and not exactly. So to know, to understand the conditions of the layers of the Earth, you can see the how egg was formed. Like a thin layer was there around the egg, and inside some liquid egg white is there, and yolk also in the middle of these all liquids. Okay, like this was formed. Next, the movements of the earth's crust. So now what we are observing on the earth, so all the continents and land masses are arranged in a proper way, but it is not true. So once upon a time, the world, when you observe the world earth, so all the land masses and all continents, North America, South America, Africa, Australia, all were at one place. All were having only single land mass. Okay, so later what happened, because of movements on the plates, in the plates. So already you know that, already have discussed the outer part of the earth crust is floating on the mantle. So it is having, it is divided into number of plates. Those are called tectonic plates. Tectonic plates. So out of these plates, 7 are very huge plates. What are those 7 continents? Okay, and number of small plates are there. These are floating on the mantle, and these are moving every time. Okay, moving every time very slowly. We cannot find very minute movement is there in the plates. We cannot identify also. Okay, that much minute movement, always these moves. This moves because of movements of the plates and collided, merged, and moved from far away from each other. Like that, the places are moved. So even these plates, once upon a time, all continents were very near. They are having only one landmass. Later, these plates broken into different pieces. Broken into different pieces because of changes inside the earth. Because of changes inside the earth. So that layers or plates broken into small pieces in 2020 millions years ago. In 2020 years millions ago, these all the continents are very near, and at the time of 2000 million years ago, so these continents moved far away each other. So these continents were divided by Tethys Sea, small, shallow sea, ocean separated all these continents. Okay, shallow means very less depth. Later, these moved away each other. Some parts collided each other. Some parts merged with other plates, and some big plates moved far away from each other, like North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Australia, Antarctica were formed. These continents were formed. What you have to understand here, 220 million years ago, all these continents are a single piece. These were single piece. Because of changes inside the earth, the plates broken into small pieces and moved far away from each other. Some merged with each other, some added with each other, okay, some collided each other, and some far away from each other, moved far away from each other. Like that, different islands, different continents, and Madagascar, and Greenland, even Antarctica, Australia, these landforms were formed. Okay, what we are observing this. So this is explained by one of the geophysicist and meteorologist in the 20th century, German meteorologist and geophysicist Alfred Wagner. So explained the changes in our earth. Okay, as per his idea, so once upon a time only single piece was there, that is called Pangea. It is a Greek word, meaning is whole land. Okay, at the time of 220 million ago. Later it was broken into small pieces and moved far away from each other. So at the time of broken up, so two huge landmass were formed. Those are called Laurentia. One is Laurentia. So present North America, Greenland, and all of European, North Indian, subcontinent lies in the Laurentia. So the Pangea, single piece of land broken into different pieces. At the time, two huge pieces were formed. One is Laurentia. So Laurentia means where North America, Greenland, and European north of Indian subcontinents means Russia, China, okay, some other north countries. So that land piece is called Laurentia, and another one is Gondwana. Second land piece was the huge land piece was Gondwana. Already I said that was broken into number of pieces. Out of number of pieces, two large pieces were formed. One is Laurentia, another one is Gondwana. So present South America, Africa, Madagascar, India, Arabia, Malaysia, East India, Australia, and Antarctica. Together, all these countries. Now, from these different continents also formed. So all these together is called the Gondwana. So later what happened? Gondwana also, that the huge piece of land also split into number of pieces. Once upon a time, India was the part of Gondwana. Now, the India is the part of Angara land. Angara land means Gondwana also divided into number of pieces, and then Australia, Antarctica, Asia was formed. Africa also. Once upon a time, African continent, some part of the Asian continent, Australian continent, Antarctica continent were the part of one piece. Part of one piece. Later, those were splitted and formed as different continents. So to form all these continents, it took millions of years. Millions of years. You cannot imagine. Already I said 220 million years back. So these all are a single piece. Later split into number of pieces. So to form present landforms, present continents, so it took millions of years, hundreds of millions of years. Clear? Now also these are not permanent. Maybe these land masses will be changed in future. Will be changed in future. Some will be submerged into water. Some water, the lands under the oceans will be come up, and their land forms will be formed like that. Okay. Now also because of volcanoes, so many islands are forming in the middle of the oceans. Okay. So like that, this earth was formed. Okay. Now also the plates are moving, and sometimes they may force each other. So when hit each other, when force each other, sometimes because of that force, some mountains will be formed. Okay. Sometimes override each other. So at the time, high land places will be formed. I can try to share the picture. Once again, we'll see if the voice is good. We can follow that. Here, observe the screen. So movements of the earth. So here given. So once upon a time, 220 millions back. So this was the situation. Later, little bit, that single piece split into number of pieces, and those pieces were divided by the Thessia ocean, the shallow ocean. Later, those were moved far away from each other, then formed North America, South America, North America, Africa, the Asian, Antarctica, and Australia. So this is the present shape of the earth. Amma, is now the voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
No. Some are saying yes, some are
Clear,
saying no.
sir, for me.
Okay. So like this. Okay. So do you have any doubts about this?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Then another one is earth grid. So using the already you already have this you learned about these longitudes and latitudes in the previous classes. Okay. So we can observe some lines on the globe. So those are the imaginary lines. Already you know that. So you cannot find these lines on the earth. So with the help of longitudes and latitudes, we prepared one grid on the globe. On the globe. Why we prepared all these net shaped or grid? So to locate the places. To locate the places, we drawn some lines on the earth. With the help of these earth lines, we can find the location. Clear? So already you know that where the India is lies. So how can you say in Asia? And if you want to say the exact area where it is located, if you want to say, so it is lies between some longitudes and some latitudes. In which longitudes and which latitudes these are located, that is important. That is the address of the India. Okay, so example, already you know that number of longitudes are there. How many longitudes are there on the globe? Do you know, ma? How many longitudes are there? 180 longitudes are there on the globe. Out of 180 longitudes, 5 more important longitudes. Sorry, latitudes. 5 more important latitudes. What are those? One is equator, the central line of the earth. Another one is Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, and Antarctic Circle, Arctic circles. Clear? So these and 360 longitudes are there. Out of that, the prime merid, these are also called meridians. Longitudes also called meridians. Another name. Okay. So the central longitude is called prime meridian, Greenwich meridian. So these help to calculate the time on the globe. So with the help of these longitudes and latitudes, we can locate the area. Example, the India is located between 37 degree 6 north latitudes to 8 degree 4th north latitude. Means our India lies in the north hemisphere. North hemisphere. So if you take both the sides of the equator, north side of the equator is called north hemisphere, south side of the equator is called, the part is called south hemisphere. India lies in the north hemisphere. Between in which latitudes? 37.6 degree north and 8 degree 0.4 inches north latitudes, and longitudes 68 degrees 7 inches east longitude to 37 degree 25 inches east longitudes. Totally it is lies in the northeastern hemisphere. Northeastern hemisphere, like that. So by using this grid, we can locate the place, we can explain that place, we can study about that place, we can analyze that place, how hot it is, how cold it is, what is the atmospheric conditions, and soils, formation of soils. Okay, shape of the country, boundaries of the country, boundaries of that place. So we can explain all these with the help of this grid, these longitudes and latitudes. Clear? So those are the more important. Already you know that the line which is drawn in the middle is called equator. This is also called 0 degree latitude. So we'll discuss all this about longitudes and latitudes in the next class in detail. Okay, so this is the history of the inner part of the earth, inner part of the earth. Okay, so what you have to do now? So after this I will share this video also. Okay, and you read the lesson, and if you have any doubts, again watch the video and write the important points and post to me immediately. Okay, if you have having any more homework, so then do that. Then by the evening, better you post my homework to my personal number. Clear, Rana?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Jama, we have very
No, sir, no doubt.
Yes,
yes,
sir.
I'm going to end this session. Okay, ma. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma.
Thank you, sir.